In this video I'm going to be reviewing the Panasonic Lumix 45 to 150mm f4 to f5.6 lens for micro four thirds. This is a compact medium telephoto lens with a very attractive price point. The zoom range of 45 to 150mm gives you an effective 90 to 300mm in 35mm terms, given the micro four thirds 2x crop factor. Considering the budget price point, build quality is surprisingly good. Although the body uses a lot of plastic, it still feels fairly robust, and you do get a metal lens mount. The front filter diameter is 52mm and the front element doesn't rotate when focusing, so there are no issues using graduated or polarizing filters. For a lens of this focal length, the 45 to 150 is very small and lightweight. As you can see here, it's actually smaller than the 12 to 60, despite the much longer focal length. When zoomed in though, it does trombone significantly, and using the included lens hood adds another few centimeters. For size and weight, I found this lens to be a perfect match for the Lumix G80. With the 45 to 150mm lens, the G80 feels perfectly balanced and comfortable to hold. Moving on to image quality, at 45mm wide open, the lens is quite sharp, but it's at its sharpest stopped down to f5.6. It stays sharp through f8 before starting to soften a little by f10 due to diffraction. At 150mm, the lens again is sharp wide open at f5.6 and remains sharp up to around f12 when it again begins to soften. One interesting observation I made was that at f5.6, the lens was sharper at the maximum zoom of 150mm than it was at 45mm. This is the opposite of what you'd normally expect from a telephoto lens, but good news if you find yourself using the zoom most of the time. To give you an idea of the focal range, here's a shot taken at 45mm and here's another shot taken of the same lighthouse at 150. This is an incredibly useful focal range, and I found myself using this lens a lot more than I'd expected I would. When I came to make this video, I was surprised to find that this was my most used micro four thirds lens. It produces sharp results even when fully zoomed, and at 150mm you can get some nice lens compression, bringing the background closer to a subject. It's not a lens for low light though. Thanks to the slow aperture, you find yourself raising the ISO up to 1600 or 3200 to get sharp shots, which is not somewhere you want to be on micro four thirds due to the small sensor and the noise. In decent light though, there's no problem getting sharp shots throughout the entire zoom range, even wide open. Moving on to video, this lens supports dual IS on recent Panasonic bodies like the G80, GX80, G9 and GH5, where the optical stabilization in the lens works together with sensor shift stabilization in the camera body for smooth stable footage even when hand holding. For static shots like this, it's easy to get stable footage throughout the zoom range with dual IS enabled. For smooth handheld panning shots like this, it's best to hold the camera close to your body and then turn your entire body when panning rather than trying to rotate the camera. And for vertical pans like this, again hold the camera close to your body and tilt it up or down rather than moving your arms. Overall, I've been very pleased with all of the footage I shot on this lens. I found it sharp and detailed and the stabilization works very well. The biggest competitor to this lens is probably Panasonic's own X-Vario 45 to 175mm. One of the advantages that lens has over the 45 to 150 is that it zooms internally, so the lens remains the same physical size at every focal length. However, I found the 45 to 150mm a little sharper as well as being much cheaper. The Panasonic Lumix 45 to 150mm f4 to f5.6 is a very good value for money lens that performs well. The compact size and lightweight means that it's easy to carry around, making it the perfect companion to the 12-60 or 14-42mm kit lenses. That's it for this video, thanks for watching.